I now give the floor to the representative of Bahrain on behalf of the Arab states.
Thank you, sir. Mr. President, I have the honor to deliver this statement on behalf of the Arab group to express their views on the draft resolution contained in document A/63/L8/Rev1. The Arab group believes that the developing countries are the most negatively impacted by climate change, notably the least developed countries, the African countries, the landlocked developing countries, and the small island developing countries. Joining the consensus on the draft resolution entitled Climate Change and its Possible Security Implications, the Arab group lays the emphasis on the following. The maintenance of international peace and security is the responsibility of the Security Council. It is its responsibility first and foremost. According to the mandate contained in the United Nations Charter, taking into consideration the role of the General Assembly pursuant to GA Resolution 377 of the 3rd of November 1950. The overlapping between the role of the Security Council and those of the main bodies of the United Nations contradicts the principles and purposes of the UN Charter. It could undermine the jurisdictions of these bodies and the rights of the UN membership. Climate change is an integral part of sustainable development in its three main pillars, namely the economic development, the social development, and the protection of the environment. It should be addressed in a comprehensive manner. Climate change is of primary importance to sustainable development. Promoting sustainable development is the main responsibility of the GA, ECOSOC, and their relevant subsidiary bodies, including the SDC and UNEP. There is a binding multilateral agreement on climate change, namely UNFCCC and its Kyoto Protocol. There is no role envisaged for the Security Council in all of the above. We believe that it is important for all member states to promote sustainable development by adhering to the Rio principles, particularly the principle of shared but differentiated responsibility, and the full implementation of the 21 Agenda and the other commitments regarding the provision of financial resources, the technology transfer, and capacity building of developing countries, which were pledged in Rio, Johannesburg, and other relative conferences held by the United Nations in the economic and social fields. The Arab group affirms that the UNFCCC on climate change is the appropriate forum to address the risks related to climate change and to consider the necessary measures to be taken in order to address climate change according to the principles set forth in the Convention. The developed countries must take urgent measures in order to honor their pledges to reduce the green gas emissions according to the Kyoto Protocol. Those countries that did not join the protocol should accede to the protocol as soon as possible and should effectively take part in the Conference of Copenhagen to be held in December this year. The group aligns itself with the content of the two letters sent by the presidency of the Group of 77 and China and the presidency of the Non-Aligned Movement to the President of the Security Council on the occasion of the open debate entitled Energy, Security and Climate that took place in the Security Council on the 17th of April 2007. We stress that the report of the Secretary General should take into consideration the views of the member states, the regional organizations on climate change in implementation of the draft resolution. We stress that the draft resolution should not undermine the jurisdiction or mandate of the bodies or the organizations that tackle climate change. I thank you, sir.